Welcome to the Squad Games Podcast. Squad Games Podcast.
Marty.
Giacomo.
It sure
Long
is.
time no see.
Long time no see. Speaking of long time no see, well, not really speaking of, but we were both in Atlanta.
Yeah.
And there's something we didn't get to do.
Yeah, but Alex did.
Yeah, Alex and some friends got to do it, and I was not aware.
Shout out Alex Pav.
We're doing it early.
Yeah, I went all the way to Atlanta, and I didn't chicken or waffles, let alone chicken and waffles.
I know. There was a place nearby, I guess, but I didn't try that one. And then I was told, we went to this chicken and something breakfast. Well, with like just the shattered look of despair in my heart.
I know. And I left early on Monday because you guys had an early flight, and I just figured we'd all go to the airport together. It's easier to survive the train that way. But that killed my opportunity to like go roaming around looking for like boutique fried chicken or any sort of comfort food in Atlanta. Otherwise, it was just go the whole time, man. I don't think I ever went more than like half a mile from the hotel.
Yeah, but the most we went, I think the furthest was CVS and maybe one bar down the street.
You could actually just go underground. You didn't have to go outside to go to CVS. Just go on the ground.
You could go, yeah, if it was during the day when they were open. In the hotel, it connects to the underground, like, I guess, mall. I don't really know what to call it, like food mall. And the CVS is connected to that.
Yeah, I didn't really appreciate it as much until the last day. For some reason, on Monday, it decided to drop to a high of 39 degrees Fahrenheit for our foreign listeners. 39 degrees Fahrenheit in the deep south. Like, there was literally a freeze warning, and I'm like, I know you don't have snow tires out here. No change. You don't even have salt. I'm pretty sure you don't have salt. If it actually snows here, we're all going to die.
Yeah, it's one of the cities you don't expect to see snow. It was a wild time. But thankfully, the event space we were in was very comfortable. So, never
like
had
a whole little city under there.
Oh, yeah, and we'll talk more about that. But of course, you're listening to the Squad Games Podcast. Today, I'm Giacomo, and with me is my co-host, Marty.
Hey, Giacomo, thank you for having me on. I appreciate being able to take the time to reflect and catch up and talk a little bit more about the event as a whole. I know we spent a lot of time on stream, 4 days of can't stop, won't stop.
We
did 12 games total, including exhibitions?
Including exhibitions, that's right. Yeah, because it would have been 3 for the first 2 days, then 2 for the the last 2 days, and then we had 2 exhibition matches.
Honestly, man, I wasn't sure you were going to make it. Like the pre-day, you were pretty rough. You were looking kind of nergly.
I was pretty ill. I don't know what it was. I think I picked it up on the Sunday of the previous Sunday, my friend's birthday. I remember there was a point where we were going to Medieval Times, and I told him, "Hey, we need to stop at a liquor store. I got to get some medicine. My throat is feeling a little weird." I was fine then, and then Tuesday, as I was going on the flight, I was like, I'm starting to feel it, and well, the rest is history. We made it by Saturday, and Marty. It sounds like you didn't have any negative effects.
I might have gotten like a sinus infection later on. I don't know. I fought it off. I just kept throwing vitamin C and vitamin D and zinc at it, like in these chewable things that like really tart Flintstone vitamins, because I'm a giant baby. I just ate those things. # not medical advice.
Someone tell the Imperium that all you have to do to beat Nurgle is just take some chewable vitamin C tablet.
I'm sure the AdMech have already figured this out, and it just has a very special name somewhere.
I like Vitamin C or something like, I don't know. However, Warhammer does their verbiage of words.
Well, it wouldn't be pronounced like anything human, because it would be like on top of it. Somebody pronounces it vitamins. Is that British?
I think it's European. Yeah, vitamin.
Yeah, it's like vitamin, and then on top of that, they're gonna pronounce the Greek like it's Latin, and it's gonna go all sorts of places. It's gonna go really sideways really quick.
But I like that they have an identity of language. I think that's great. Oh, yes. Now, quickly, right before we jump into the rest of this podcast, we just want to quickly let everybody know that ABTT we are in a podcast. Woo! ABTT will be June 27th and 28th of 2026. So we're already got the venue pretty much squared away. We're just confirming everything, but that is the current time as of right now, June 27th and 28th of 2026. We know it's a little early. We still have the holiday season to come through, but we just want to let everybody know when to expect ABTT. So if you're in the SoCal area, or if you're looking to come to the West Coast and join us for a 3-team player event with a bunch of your friends and a bunch of people who you can become friends with, and of course squad games, we would be more than happy to have you there. We love doing that event. It's a lot of fun.
I love that event. I actually get to play. Like, push comes to shove, I can force people to pretend to be my friends for a couple of days. It's great.
Yeah, and you guys you killed it. You guys were coming in with big displays, which is another thing. If you also want to come with your team to do painting and hobbying, if that's more of your strong suit and it's something you're passionate about, we are also passionate about that. In fact, that's one of my favorite aspects of this whole hobby and game. So we encourage everybody to bring their best painted stuff or the best of their abilities. We also have the Forge Brush competition, which is a painting competition inside AVTT as well. So
who wants a giant anvil?
There you go. It's a giant
mini anvil.
Giant
it's a
mini
miniature
anvil
giant anvil
with a bunch of prizes for different categories of paint jobs, whether it's single model, best team, best display, etc. And more of that will be put on our website. That's squadgames.net, so you can check that out as well. And any links for that will be in the description. On top of that, if you're on our website and you're looking to get some products from like Kill Team stuff, you can check that out on our products tab. We have dice, base steppers, measurement gauges, micro boxes to carry your teams, little things like that. You can all check that out in the description. And one last thing, in more recent, Warhammer has a Warhammer Open in Palm Springs. That's going to be on January 16th to the 18th. You're going to have all the big names, all the big games, but the main one, because you're listening to our podcast, we're going to be there for the Kill Team Grand Tournament. I love that. And we're going to do our best to be there. We're hoping that more people can join so we can make this a bigger, more fun event, get to see people that you don't normally get to see. And
get to play people you don't normally get to play.
Yeah, exactly. And we really hope that you guys can make it to that as well. Otherwise, enjoy the holiday season as you're listening to this. I know we're about to come up into Thanksgiving for all us U.S. audiences, and everyone else. I hope you're also having just a good time with your families and friends.
Yeah, definitely, man. It's just go, go, go. We got to get ready for the holidays, right?
It's nonstop, as much as I would like to just sit down and paint my little soldiers, I have to, I gotta plan events for the family where we're going to go traveling and things like that. And it's in such a compact time. It feels like 2 months would go longer, but it does not.
I got this Dremel on sale on Amazon at one point, like a little cordless chargeable USB Dremel thing. It was a really cool kit a friend of mine had for his hobby. I got it, and I sat on it, on my shelf for a while, hoping to do some work magnetizing my Battleclade. Well, my Battleclade's still unassembled yet, let alone magnetized. And the first time I finally got to use the Dremel was this week, drilling holes into kids' crafts to make Christmas ornaments. That's how holidays have destroyed my hobby. My hobby, my dedicated hobby tools are now being commandeered for holiday decorations.
It's funny. I was actually about to ask you, what have you been working on since Worlds? And it sounds like you've been working on ornaments.
My kids have been making Christmas ornaments out of those perler beads, like those plastic fuse beads, the ones you can put on like a little, you arrange like pixel art. You arrange the whole thing, and then you put paper over it and you iron it.
Yeah. It becomes one whole. I have a few of those. Those are cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm making a bunch of those.
That's fun. That's a good time. It's always good to, share your craft and your hobbying with your friends and family. I'm very friends and family oriented. Quickly myself, I've been working on, I'm going to say his name wrong, Magana Ra. It's the Eldar Dark Reaper champion. Yeah, that guy.
I've been working on him. He's a Phoenix Lord, right?
He's a Phoenix Lord, one of them, right? Yes. So I've been working on him right now. He's a lot of fun to paint.
Dakota were here, he would know all the Eldar stuff.
Oh my God, yeah, he'd be telling us all about it, but he's unable to be here tonight. But that's okay. We're picking up where we can. We want to make sure we bring you guys some stuff. So now that we have our hobby time, let's jump into the meat of this, if you will, or perhaps the big eggplant. Whatever you'd like. I enjoy eggplant. Eggplant parmesan is great.
I'm going to leave that one there. My Italian family is opinionated about lasagna. I'm sure yours is too, but I think we have conflicting opinions.
My mom's side probably would be. But no, hey, Marty. So this was your first time coming to Worlds and being at this event, because last year you were viewing from home, and this year you are now one of the hosts, which I really, really love having you on. I think you're very knowledgeable about the game. You're very entertaining. People always seem to really like your takes on things. What was your initial reaction to seeing how big this place was?
It was larger than I expected a hotel to be able to support on its own, right? Mm-hmm. Like I'm used to like convention center-y stuff at this level. Like things that are shared with multiple hotels, like at LVO, right? Like the big convention centers out there in like Las Vegas. I've never really seen a hotel with this much space with 3 levels down there to just do all these things. Not only was the room we were in absolutely ginormous, right? With all the World Championships of Warhammer, Big Hammer, Age of Sigmar, the Old World, Underworlds, Kill Team, everything, right? Then there's like an entire other wing full of like grand narrative stuff. And like a floor above us and a floor below us full of stuff too. And a store outside. Like they just did the whole pop-up store thing, just like pulled it out of the ether and then made it disappear into a little warp again when they were done.
With a bunch of exclusive stuff to purchase there too. The Regency can do a lot, Mm-hmm. We'll see.
Man. I didn't get the Nurgle hoodie. I saw them rolling that out the night before, and they were like, "You come back in the morning," and I'm like, "I'm at a desk. I can't. I'll go out after the first break." And no, gone. Instantly wiped out.
And that was that, and the little Space Marine, the plushie Space Marine, were 2 hot items that just sold out immediately.
I just wanted to remake the plushie squig. I need a squig.
This year we had the Gobbo, the little Gobbo with the black hood,
the black hood like caster one from
and they I have a picture somewhere. I'll try to put it in the Squad Games Discord. If you're not part of that, you can join us on the Squad Games Discord, or leave a comment on this. Well, not really a comment, because this is probably mostly audio. Anyways, there's a little picture I have where it's like 6 of them around another item they were selling, which was a Christmas, the Christmas ornament. I think it was the tree topper. Was it Slanesh or was it Zinch?
I thought it was Sigmar, actually.
I think it was Sigmar. I think I'm getting it wrong. And so somebody, one of the staff, set up 6 of them just like praising the tree topper in this little corner behind the Terminator.
Just like all the Who's and Whoville, except they're ratty goblins from Age of Sigmar. Yeah.
Oh man, no, that was pretty funny. They had a good time at the store.
Oh yeah, definitely. I did manage to get the holiday set of like the holiday hat, like with the pom-pom on top of it.
Yeah,
the matching scarf too for the Space Wolves. I got that for a buddy of mine.
See, that's going to be great. Like I always pick up myself a Codex shirt if I can. They didn't have the Chaos one I wanted in my size, so unfortunately I couldn't get the Chaos Codex. But it's okay. I got a Bretonnian tome from Old World. Oh yeah, classic. But back to the event. So yes, the vastness of the place. It was so large. I actually didn't even walk to the very end where 40K was going. I was like, that's too long of a walk. I'm gonna go somewhere else.
I can barely get to the bathroom and back on my break.
Yeah, like I'm not necessarily running, but I'm definitely. I have a big gait. I'm moving kind of quick. Thankfully, there's plenty of bathroom space.
Yeah, no, between the upstairs, the downstairs, around the corner, etc. If you want a tight time budget, though, you just kind of had to make your best estimate. How far do I want to go to make sure that I don't have to wait in line?
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. Because if you see them coming up, you could just go downstairs and like, there's the other bathroom. I'll just quickly go there. And sometimes that is faster. And downstairs, like you mentioned,
like an exclusive staff bathroom at one of these points.
Kind of, it felt like it, but that's where a lot of where narrative was being taken care of.
Oh yeah, you go downstairs to where the little staff break room is, and you just be like, "Oh, there is a Space Marine in power armor. I probably shouldn't trip him."
Yeah, and a lot of people were dressing up for that narrative, which is always good. So if you don't necessarily want to go for the competitive, maybe you're not trying to get a golden ticket, you can always go as part of a narrative player. They do have Kill Team and they do have 40K. I don't know if they're eventually going to have Age of Sigmar. Maybe in the future, we'll see. That'd be something cool for all the people who want to play Age of Sigmar in a more narrative way, because I think you could do that, right? I feel like that's the thing.
Yep. I found a what was it? I remember picking up a flyer that an Inquisitor had left. It was like one of his flunkies had left. It was like, good news, you've been selected to be screened for heresy, something like that.
I think you were telling me about that one.
Yeah.
No, that was a good one. They really go all out with theirs, which will segue to the next thing. The cosplays, just everybody and the professional ones there too. They're all professionals. They all made theirs. Everybody, no matter what level. But no, there were some great ones. Like, what was your favorite one?
Well, easily the highlight of the entire convention experience for me was Trazen the Infinite came tromping through the main hall while we were broadcasting. And I was like, hold on, I have to stop my job and watch Trazen run this guy down at the paint station. There's like the GW paint station with all the lights and stuff inside the broadcast area. He just comes over and starts looming over him, beeping, and is just like unacceptable. Stalks off.
Not worthy of his collection, just disappears.
Yep.
That was great. We had the Sister of Battle. We had the Deathwatch Marine, and then there was the Thousand Sun Sorcerer.
Oh yeah, there was. Yeah.
Yeah,
oh, man. We had an Inquisitor too.
We had an Inquisitor, and there was a Harlequin.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. They had a really good team for a lot of the narrative stuff doing that. I know we're talking about narrative a lot, but we're going to go through narrative first. May as well get that out of the way. It looks like a really good event, and it's something that I would try if I wasn't, doing the stream myself. Mm-hmm. Would you ever do narrative?
I think I would. I think especially I was really jealous at LVO. Honestly, of the team narrative structure thing that we did for Kill Team. I should say Saya and Dakota did. I didn't even know what was going on.
They worked really hard on that.
It looked so much fun. Like Gene Stealers popping out of couches was the highlight of my weekend there. So I would love to actually be in a narrative as opposed to look on the outside, looking in forlornly from the glass.
Right,
it's our little glass prison on stream.
But the stream was great. Like, I had a great time. I think it was one of the best ones I think we've done in a while. Man, the players on there though, what hell of a games, whether it was exhibition, just watching them having a good time, or whether we were getting down to sweaty Sunday,
sweaty Sunday, man. I mean, yeah, I every game had something going on to it. And I really enjoyed that, whether even the exhibitions, people were having really fun time. We got to see a variety we got to broadcast a wide variety of teams, especially early on. I think that's something we paid special attention to in kind of designing, picking what we were going to show on those early rounds. Obviously, the finals are the finals, but I definitely love that. So if we get back to that at some point, I'd love to talk about the process.
In fact, let's talk about the process right now. We're already here.
All right. Successfully segued then. I didn't want to swerve us off a bridge before we finished with whatever else was going on, because I don't think I heard what your favorite thing was.
Oh, at the event itself. This one's going to be an interesting one. So the last game, we had to have a judge mostly there for mostly a full-time judge at the final table, because it's the finals. Mm-hmm. And Dakota, being so tall, and his hair was up, so he'd make sure it wasn't in his hair. His little bun kept hitting one of the camera cables, and so I was just like, "Oh, hold on, I gotta go switch the camera, go fix it." And then eventually I go, "Hey, you're really tall. Be careful of hitting this."
Why it was going off?
Yeah, it was just the little bun part. It just kept hitting it just a little bit. It was pretty funny. That was one of my favorite moments. It was just like, of all things, all the tension here. Let's break it with this thing that just makes me laugh.
I think on that note, I think the other thing I liked was when Ace would play, we'd lose camera 3. Like side camera 3, his shoulders just completely dug into the camera.
Because he's right in the camera. And we try to position the cameras to the best of our abilities to give you the best viewing.
But ultimately, the players need to be able to see what they're doing, right?
Exactly, and which is a priority. That's totally fine. That's why we have different angles to try to give you other views if we can. But sometimes the players, I understand you got to get close to your board. You got to make sure you're making the precise movements. I get it. It's going to happen. But those are pretty fun when you get to see like a left arm coming in. The the left arm of the world champion from last year is in here.
Like we just won't use camera 3 for a while. It'll be fine.
It's totally fine. But yeah, now back to the process. Let's go over to the process of selecting players and teams, really. You know, as a mix of both.
So, I mean, like on Thursday, right? Okay, so first of all, for people that maybe didn't watch the content, you should watch the content.
It's on our YouTube channel, Squad Games.
To summarize, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, Squad Games Entertainment. Check it out on YouTube if you want to see the streams of the days.
So it's 4 days. Championships is 4 days of Kill Team. And being British, apparently they have a soccer thing going on here. So they had to have group stages before the knockout stages. So what wound up happening is days Thursday and Friday, all the players were divided into one of 8 pods, group stages, right? So they played like a mini tournament over 6 rounds over those 2 days. So 3 on Thursday, 3 on Friday. And the top 2 from each pod would advance to the round of 16 on Saturday. So, like, there's so much to work with right there. 130 players representing what? I think we had dozens of countries, even just in Kill Team. And then, you know, so many different factions showing up. And, like, you have an idea of what you think the favorites are. And we get the stats in BCP for what factions are really, like, saturated in the meta and which ones are, like, the one-man snowflake out there. Like, the one guy playing, what was it? We had, like, 3 people playing Kroot, but we had, like, one guy playing Vespid, I think. 1 or 2.
1 or 2. And then I want to say there's only 2 Aquilon players. There wasn't a lot.
Yeah, we had like a chunk of Rekkas in there. Oh, actually, hold on. I have my notebook that I had.
Oh, that was man! I love that you had the notebook. Honestly, writing things down, people, is still good. It's not underrated. It's not overrated. It's perfect. It's still good to write things down, people. If you can, get yourself a pencil. I'm holding one in my hand, and I don't have paper though. So
there was 1 Vespid and 1 Exaction squad.
Wow, for the whole tournament.
1 Commandos player, 1 Novitiates player. Like 1 Hunter Clade, 1 Star Striders, like 3 Kroot, you know. So there was some stuff like showing up, but man, like there were some long shots here. And then we had like I think we had like 2 players from China.
Yeah, that was their first time showing up to the event.
Yep. We had a couple of Italians, a bevy of Swedes actually.
Yeah.
And you know, so but basically what I'm trying to say here is what you don't want to do is if you have like a horde of Deathwatch and Canoptic circle players, you don't want to have 2 Americans on stream every game playing Canoptic into Deathwatch, right? You want to save some of that for later. You want to try to get your unicorns out there wherever you can, right? We had Sanctifiers. We had a stream match with Sanctifiers.
That was Zach versus Legionnaire, Alan, I believe his name was. Am I getting it wrong?
Well,
yeah, and that was Legionnaires versus Sanctifiers. That was a fun match.
Yeah, that was definitely one of my favorites there. And then you know, you definitely want to make sure that you have some representation from Spain. Get a lot of Spaniards coming out, and then you know, Latin America. We get some representation from Chile and what was it? We had somebody from Bolivia.
We had Bolivia, Chile, Mexico. I think there was a Peruvian guy, Argentina.
Yeah. So you kind of want to do like a world tour of both your faction. Like you want to do a galactic tour of your factions, and you want to kind of do a world tour of the teams that are coming out. Now, on the other hand, you also kind of want to feature Space Marines because they're sort of the poster for the product, right?
People love Space Marines. I will say I love Space Marines.
It's hard to go a day streaming without showing some Space Marines. If you're not showing some Space Marines, you're probably off-brand.
I need to see that ceramite armor.
Seriously. in those small fusion cells on the back.
Absolutely.
You know, I mean, if you're not venting plasma, what are you even doing?
What are we even doing?
And then also, like on the in those terms, I think you want to try like even your macro factions, right? You don't want to go an entire tournament and never see an Imperium or Chaos team, right?
Of course.
Like there's so much variety and so many stories to tell in the setting, and the lore and the setting and the hobby all come in here too, right? So you want to showcase that as much as you can. So if you think you're going to see a lot of Deathwatch and neck runs towards the end, you probably want to use those early group stages to get those teams that statistically aren't going to filter out into Saturday and Sunday.
Right.
That's my philosophy anyway. But also, you can't pass on like a good featured match. Like we had just like, oh, those people have YouTube channels, and
here's
you've never
John
seen
Reese
them play against each other.
And here's Ben.
Yeah, let's just throw them out there.
And they had a great match too. It was a lot of fun to watch. I'm glad to see Rekkas. We got to see them on camera. I knew we were going to see Canoptic, which is always fun to watch John play Canoptic. But at the same time, I don't get to see the orcs as much, you know? So, yeah, exactly. So it's kind of fun to see, little things. People love it too. And I love it too. Cause at the end of the day, it can't just be Space Marines all day.
Oh yeah. So you want to be able to feature your brand. You want to show the diversity of the 41st millennium. You want to see some teams that are wacky and fun. On the flip side, you don't necessarily want to bring in a really slow game.
Yeah.
And you like if you can see on there, like there's going to be 28 models here and nothing's going to happen until turning point 3. Maybe you don't want to stream that game if you have alternatives.
Right, because at the end of the day, we are trying to both represent teams and countries, but we also want people to have a good viewing experience as well.
Yeah, and sometimes the game becomes really inaccessible for new people, but I notice you get a lot of new faces in the World stream especially.
Which I love. They're usually saying, like, I'm just getting into Kill Team, and they have questions, and we're there to do our best to answer. And the audience is good about answering too, which we love. The engagement is great because we want more people to get into this wonderful game that we've discovered. Chat is the unsung heroes of stream engagement, right? Like, you can't be there for everybody all the time, and chat creates a culture all on its own that helps welcome people into the experience, which is what we hope to cultivate, with the friendliness and the openness to make sure people feel comfortable asking simple questions. Because at the end of the day, we were all there at one point too, Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. See, the trick is we have to make your friends, like your fans from the past, worse at this game, so they stop winning golden tickets so they can be in chat instead of on stream.
But these players, they're good. Like a lot of there were some technical moves I had never thought about, and usually when I watch them, I get better because I'm like, oh, I could do that now. I didn't know I could do that with Deathwatch. Like I never thought about that. Like these things.
I log those things. I log those things in the back of my head, and then I have to tell myself, don't do this at the store.
Right? Don't
my
destroy
local
somebody.
Store's not try hard.
Right,
you're still building people up. I'm like, probably shouldn't do that.
Play in the appropriate level of your opponent.
Oh yeah, everybody's here to have fun, right?
That's what we came out for, to play with our great little toy soldiers and have a really good time rolling dice with your friends in a competitive sense, of course. And everyone was so polite too. There wasn't really ever any big like heated moments that I could recall where something bad was. In fact, I don't think there was any. We pretty much had was like no hitch at all. The worst thing was
on their best behavior on stream. It was great.
Yeah, the worst thing was the little head bump with the camera cable, and I had to fix that. That's not even a problem.
It's not even a player's fault.
It's not even a player's problem. And they were good about calling judges, which is something I always advocate for. If you can call a judge, that's their job. You're not being rude to your opponent or anything. You're just getting clarification. And with 3-hour rounds, they had plenty of time to do that, which I love the 3-hour rounds versus the 4-hour rounds in the last one, because it's a lot harder to fill 4 hours of space, but 3 hours it gives you that little extra time that each player kind of needs. And it's not egregious to where it's like, wow, this is a really long day.
Yep. It's one thing I'm good for. It's yapping to fill time.
And I do love that about you.
One of my specialties.
I love the Marty special.
Man. But I got to see orcs blow stuff up. That usually means it's a good day.
That is a great time. I love when that stuff happens. And let's talk about all the armies we got to see. The teams and armies. They were on display too. I don't know if you got a chance to go see the showcase at the end of night 2, I believe.
At the end of they were on the outside of the streamcast, like the tables that were lined up.
Yeah, and they were doing all the hobby stuff.
I grabbed a bunch of pictures actually. Let me take a look here real quick.
Yeah, if you get a chance, you should post that in the Squad Games Discord.
Oh yeah,
yeah, so people can take a look, because there was one of my favorite ones was this. I'm going to say it wrong, but the Tau have when the humans join. It's Guisela, I think it is.
I assume it's some sort of racial pejorative
kind
in
of
their
like
own
that
language.
And they did a
Yeah.
really good job of doing Guisela as Aquilons, and I thought like that was really fun. I like that because then it was just this big drone that had a bunch of guns on it. So that's your gun drone, and you had your 11 guys, and all the guns looked Tau, but also you could tell that's a plasma, that's a Melta, like, and that's the sniper. You could tell which was which, so it made sense to me. And
By the way,
it was well done.
being able to tell the guns apart is one of my favorite features of the Imperium and my least favorite features of Tau.
That is,
I can't tell the guns apart on Pathfinders, but I can always tell them apart on any Imperium team because the Melta does not look like a plasma gun.
It definitely doesn't. I'll give this to the XV-26 stealth suits that came out recently. The burst cannon and the fusion are very different looking, so it's hard to miss those. One's square, one's round.
Yeah, no, those are hard to miss.
Those are hard to, but the other Tau guns, I totally get it. Like a pulse rifle and a pulse carbine are similar, but I played enough Tau Fire Warrior on the PlayStation 2 to know the difference now.
Oh man, speaking of Dead Silence teams that you guys got to preview, man, that's actually like I'm looking at my photos from the showcase. And the Big Hammer showcases, like every other one that I took like multiple pictures of, are Space Wolves.
They love Space Wolves.
Space Wolves, Riding Wolves, like Thunder Wolf Cavalry, like old school Predators, Bjorn the Fellhand, like, oh man. And they had those ice bases and everything. Like, Space Wolf decorative displays go hard, man.
And you know what? It also helps that was like the new kind of refresh of the line. They just released that too. So they were hot on the heels, and they honestly have great sculpts, like including the Wolf Scouts that just came out in Dead Silence. Another great set of sculpts. Like, it's incredible. And, you know, to all the Space Wolf fans out there, like, you guys are in for a hell of a treat. You know, it's going to be a good Christmas, hopefully. Hopefully you could secure yourself one of those boxes. I've been hearing it's a little tough to get Dead Silence. But don't worry, they will eventually come out in separate boxes, and you will be able to get your hands on them.
They always come back. Eventually.
But the showcase, I love the showcase because that's it's another cool thing. Games Workshop's really letting people know that the hobby is also still a big part of this game. It's not just the competitiveness of the game, but you know, you can compete with your brush, you can compete with your creativity, and you can really go all out. Which
the standout kill team for me at the showcase that I got a really good picture of was actually featured in one of our exhibition matches.
Oh,
was it Saturday or Sunday? We had the Phobos, like
that was Sunday, played by I don't want to say the name, but I believe it was Lee. I believe Lee was playing him. I hope I'm getting that right if you're listening.
This is the problem with having things on your electronic media instead of in your nice dead tree notebook, is that you can't pull everything up at the same time.
That's true. You get to go around them.
I mean, I'll post it in the Discord, and you got to see it on the stream on Thursday. Just like the light up LED track inside, like basically in like a oversized Munitorum armored container, and then they were all slotted in there with like LED lights and as track lights and everything, and they had like light effects on the armor shading and everything. They were just Imperial Fist Phobos, and they were insane.
In fact, if you watch the stream, we actually had him hold up his case on the camera so that you could see it for a little bit, which is cool. You know, I love seeing that. And I really liked the Vespids we had on day one. That was the first round.
The Tyranid Vespids?
Tyranid Vespids was a cool conversion. They did a good job. Yeah, he did a great job. That was, I want to say it was a UK player. I could be wrong. I tend to forget. It's been a little bit, and I was very sick that weekend. Yeah, but that was one of my favorite ones to look at. Like, it's just like, what originality. I love that.
and the nice part was that he was playing into Tyranids, like actual Tyranids.
That's right.
But they were Raveners, and the Raveners are so damn big that nobody was getting confused as to whose bugs were whose.
It was very easy to tell. One have wings, the others have tails.
Yep.
No, that was great.
Oh yeah, no, I definitely love that. We didn't get Aquilons on the stream, did we?
We had it for the exhibition against that was Alex Popov. Yeah. He played against Lee against Phobos.
Oh yeah, that was the one. Okay.
I mean, let me tell you, Phobos up until the very end still had gas. Phobos did make it into the top 8
Yeah, they shanked a Deathwatch player to make it there too.
They took out Deathwatch right at the end, yes, and it was tight at that last game. For those who get a chance, you should watch it. It's not too long because usually Marine on Marine games go fairly quickly. So that was a good one if you want to watch that. It's really fun. You get to see a lot of cool moves that Phobos do, and you get to see a lot of ways that Deathwatch can come back from what you think would be the end of it.
Yeah, in terms of top 8 like distribution, we had 2 Imperial teams. We had the Phobos and the Deathwatch. We had two Chaos teams, both Felgor Ravagers. We had 2 Xenos teams in the both Canoptic Circle Necrons, right? And we had 2 Eldari teams, both Mandrakes. Come through there. So like our top 8 was evenly distributed in like the, what do you call them? Like the mega factions? I don't know how they describe it. Right?
I guess I guess we do factions and sub factions.
Yeah, because they're like the idea of chaos, right? Like chaos isn't a kill team. It's an alignment.
Yeah, an alignment. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
But yeah, I mean, like that was actually pretty good. Like in my opinion, I mean, we could have seen a little bit more team diversity, but there's only so many teams for each faction anyway. Like there's only so many Chaos teams, so many Imperial teams, so many Xenos teams, so many Eldari teams.
Especially ones, that are viable to go to a competitive sense,
Exactly. But yeah, Phobos really, like, I kept hearing good things about them, but I was skeptical. And then they just got stuck in there and dismantled Deathwatch.
Yeah, because they still have the ability to just do a lot of damage, whether it's lethal shots or having a Reaver come in and just immediately do 8 damage,
double strike,
10 damage, double strike, which then could take you out later. Like it's explosive what they can do, and of course you're always taking the marksman who just can tag people. It's a great team, even though now they've gone into classified, but you can still play them at some of our tournaments.
They definitely had a good hurrah.
Yeah, and you could still play them today, and they still do pretty well into other teams. I don't think they're really going out of style. Of course, there's going to be teams that are maybe a little better now, but Wolf Scouts are very strong. But you could still do a lot of cool things with Phobos. I don't think I'm going to stop, singing their praises anytime soon. But anyways, back to more of the top 8, since we're on the topic of top 8. Felgor was a surprise. I wasn't fully expecting them to make it there, but they did. I believe that was Dylan G was one of them, and I cannot remember his name. He was on stream, and he played really, really defensively up until that last moment, because that was their thing, right?
There was Dylan, there was Landon, and there was Askew, right? They were like the last major.
The last 3 Felgor players, yes. Yeah, that was
round of 16.
That was a really good one. Like, it was fun to watch Felgor because it's just like they're still so strong. Even though Frenzied took a lot of nerfs, it just shows you that if you don't immediately die, that's still a powerful ability.
It turns out if you don't die when you're killed, it can cause problems.
Which is why Canoptic was such a good, in a way, a good play into them because of their trans-dimensional gun. It just gets rid of them. It doesn't even force them to go into frenzy. They just are removed from the board. That's powerful.
Yeah, just one direct ticket to the Shadow Realm. It's pretty bad.
That's one of the most powerful abilities you can have in the game. Obviously, of course, people know Canoptic now. If they didn't know Canoptic before, they definitely, if they didn't know from LVO, they know from Worlds, and they're still very strong. But the updates we recently received, the full published, what was it? The errata and FAQ. They updated how a bunch of abilities work with the TAC ops in particular. And I think that actually changed from Worlds to the actual publication, because I believe at Worlds they could still run it down. The escort guy, or not the envoy. Envoy, yeah, you could run Envoy.
Envoy with the expendable guys, and you can't anymore. So that makes a big difference. And the other thing you could do, and we saw done, was you could extract. Was it extract data? Retrieve object. You could retrieve.
Yeah,
you could use retrieval through the node matrix with the Geomancer. You could just like ET phone home and just teleport from that, stuff down the node matrix from that objective into your Geomancer's pocket. That was that seemed excessive. Probably a good idea
to tone that down. But I want to talk about the counter pick since we're talking about the top 8. Mm-hmm. I was not expecting Mandrakes because in my heart, I still believe, and I have people who agree with me, that Felgor could absolutely break Mandrakes. Absolutely. But at the same time, when you look at Mandrakes on paper with their abilities, they do pretty good into Canoptic. Because turning your saves from a 3-up to a 4-up in the way they do their weird dice changes with soul fire damage.
Yeah, balefire. A lot of them, you have to realize, a lot of them, if they had to move around, if they had to get off of their node matrix, right? They're like the big bugs. They can't step off the node matrix ever. They step off the node matrix to go from a 3-up save to saving on 1s and 2s.
Yeah, they cannot risk it. So it's also one of those, like, you can't just get off this because then this guy's going to hunt you down, and they do quite a lot of damage to those bugs.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, then they have like all sorts of tricksy boys to do extra damage first. It's like, oh, you're accurate in combat and don't care. Just I'm going to go first.
Right. And then the Oubliex being like, you're not actually going to activate yet. You're not going to activate yet. And it's just one of those, like,
I think we saw at least one nasty, like, triple Oubliex.
Yeah, it was like, that guy can't go, that guy can't go, that guy can't go. Right. And it's just like, oh no, this is bad. And then you had to activate, the least the least opportune, whatever word it is.
Least opportune operative.
There you go. That's the word. He got it. And so Mandrakes is such a good counter pick into them, but at the same time, they're not impossible to beat with other teams, which kind of works really well in this rock, paper, scissors meta.
Yeah, I think they have. Plus, they have their movement ability. Like we saw, I think it was the first game of Sunday, right? Sunday first game, the parking lot in the central room on Tomb World.
That's right.
It was arranged. It was Felgor into Canoptic Circle. Mm-hmm. And the central room where they were contesting stuff, there was a piece of, I think there were 2 pieces of light terrain from the Tomb World set in the middle there, and somebody jam-a-lammed a razor wire in between them. And suddenly there was just a line where no model could stand, because you can't stop on terrain that doesn't have the vantage point keyword, right?
Right.
Not a vantage. You can't stand on it. So you couldn't stand on them or partially on them or anywhere in there. You had to get your base completely off of them. Well, then on the other side of the thing, there's a bug's base. There's a freaking giant big butt 50 millimeter, like 2 of them standing next to each other in light cover. So they're like on conceal, so you can't shoot them
somehow.
And there's not enough place to put your 32 millimeter goat base anywhere.
Their area of denial is so good too. Ugh.
All you could do is get within 2 of them and shoot them with auto pistols.
Yeah, you could do pelting firepower. That's your best bet. Maybe throw a crack grenade in there.
Yeah, it was not a fun time, man. Not a fun time at all.
No, because they do make such a good wall too, and that was one of the difficulties that Landon did have trying to break through that. Which Dan Barton is a great player, so he was making sure that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, that wall was impressive.
Yeah, I would have never. I mean, I knew they were strong, but man, like they could do so much. Canoptic is crazy, still to this day. But they're not unbeatable, as we saw.
No, they're not unbeatable. I do think they have a distinct home field advantage vibe on Tomb World, and justifiably so.
They were one of the posters for it, so that makes sense. Mm-hmm. No, that was a really good match. I really like the counter picks in there. Mm-hmm. And speaking of the streams, you introduced the Telecaster that we use this year. It's a great idea. I love it.
1980s football casting technology.
John Madden.
Johann Madman. Blood Bowl commentator. Oh, man.
Which I love that you brought that to us. I think that adds a lot of value in the stream just to get to show players possible moves or how this thing affects them. And when they're just tuning in, you can tell them where the node matrices are or where certain guys are hidden. So it's really nice to be able to help viewers get a chance to.
It also really saves us from having to use language like left and right, considering our screens were flipped
a lot of the time.
We were seeing most of the time. yeah, that was fun. So it's just nice to just draw a line and be like, kaboom goes here. Draw fire on the screen.
It's a good one. I think it's a great use of technology. I love that you brought that in, which again, Marty, another reason you're so great. You have ideas. If you wanted to improve the stream, what do you think you'd want to add now that you've kind of experienced it at Worlds and at LVO?
Man, what can I add to the stream?
What would we want to add?
Let me see.
It's a tougher question. I totally get it.
Oh man, now I got to do like critical thinking and iterative improvement. I don't know, man. I could probably make the stream more watchable by dropping 50, 70 pounds. That would probably help a little bit. Oh, you're fabulous. It's fine.
You too. You too.
Oh, but no. I would love to have I know it sounds cheesy, but I'd love to have a little bit of soundboard, or even have a few ready-made GIFs to be able to put on the screen. I'd love to. I'd love. This sounds dirty because it involves AI. I would love to have a way to do a real-time map overlay. You switch to another image and it draws you the map, except it's done in old 1980s White Dwarf battle report maps. So it's just a top down with the
circles and triangles.
Yeah, with circles and triangles and little squad markers and stuff in there.
Yeah.
Oh man, I would give a lot to be able to generate those actually.
See,
that'd be great. At the end of the round, you'd just be like, here's all the things that where they're all standing, and you have the little icon for the war boss and whatever, and you have little explosions over the guys that died. Oh man, it'd be great.
A quick recap. Honestly, that could be pretty fun, and it's something that generative AI could be useful.
People can do it physically, but it's always done in post, right? And it's done in high production battle reports that are they spent 12 hours, probably more like 24, putting together this battle report end to end, right?
Which I understand.
If you could just kind of have that be a view overlay that just drew itself, oh man, that'd be revolutionary.
That'd be tough. I wonder how it would even draw it. That'd be something interesting, to eventually do, because that could be cool. Just here's a 3-minute recap of the whole game and things that happened, and you just get to watch it real fast and cool. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's something I think could be cool to add to the stream. Obviously, I would like to add more cameras. I'd also love to have a bigger staff, but that's we're working on I would say we're less than a skeleton crew, where it might be the rib cage and then the head. It really was just us two going back and forth. But we make it work. And the other streamers there too, the team that was doing Underworlds, just two guys.
Yeah. Most of the caster desks for teams of two. Maybe they had a support staff running around too with the lighting and the cameras and stuff.
Oh yeah, Spain and France, they had a big team. They had the people in casting, but then they also had technical people walking, which is cool if they can get it. And GW too, they had because they were doing both a dual stream of 40K and Age of Sigmar, which would be nice to be able to switch between two different games at a time.
Oh, I know the thing that I wanted for the stream. I wanted to have a roving camera. I wanted to be able to
be another one to add.
Cut to somebody on the sidelines at another game, zooming in and being well, here's the other semifinals match. We can see that it's tied at the end of turning point 3. That sort of thing. It's just kind of like a roving camera that you could have throw back.
We sort of have that, but we weren't able to really get it to work properly. So maybe next year we'll have the one, because it's a wireless one, so we can just kind of pick it up and move it around.
Wireless is a must, because otherwise you're going to just trip people and it's going to be a huge liability thing.
Exactly. So we're thinking of trying to implement that one to move around and get to see more of the other playing areas. Because we don't really always get to show that off. Obviously, we mostly just showed the streamed game, and maybe I can turn a camera a little bit so you can see part of the audience, but I can't do a full 360 zoom and all that stuff. So having that wireless one could be good.
Give it 10, 20 more years, and we won't even have camera gimbals anymore. We'll just have little camera drones flying at the corners.
Right, and they're always repositioning themselves properly and automatically focusing in.
I mean, we'll also be probably we won't have this job anymore. We'll have been replaced by AI anime girls or something to make it more lively, and that'll just be it.
Time to get your VTuber. Pick your favorite one, Marty. That's what we're going to be now. I'm kidding.
They'll just eventually. Eventually they'll be like the VTuber, and we don't need the actor anymore. Computer could be the VTuber.
Right, the AI could make the VTuber. I say that in jest, but it's probably fully.
They have one of those. I remember they have
exists.
one. There actually is an AI VTuber.
There we go.
It always runs with the programmer alongside, but they have like one of those. So yeah, it's only a matter of time, Giacomo, until we're put into the battery tanks and retired by the Matrix.
Perfect. I'm ready to be used as an energy source. No, yeah, Worlds was a lot of fun. I had a great time. I'm sure you had a great time.
Me too. That was like one of the few things that could actually get me to get on a plane that didn't involve someone dying.
I'm glad you made it onto the plane. I don't like
flying. I don't like the airport. That was not my fit. Actually, the airport was fine this time because you guys were all there. We got to have a great little luncheon. Alex Popov and John Reese and everybody kind of waiting for our planes and figuring out which. Oh yeah, John wasn't even in our terminal, by the way. That's what we found out afterwards when we split up. Right,
because he was international.
International terminal's completely separate. You had to like take him to all the way back to the other side of the terminal, put him on a bus.
Yeah, that's right. Where we were all like, oh, we're all going to go through here and go to our plane. No, the airport was smooth. I want to say this was one of the smoothest airport experience I had. I hope that all the people who were coming into Worlds, whether it was domestic or international, also had a really good experience because it was probably the fastest. I think I might have spent 5 minutes getting my stuff through.
Now, think about it this way. Like, we don't think about it now because it's over, but like that was during the shutdown. Like people were working there not getting paid.
Yeah, that was so. Imagine when they're back to full staffing, and how much faster that could even be. Like, wow. Because obviously I want air travel to be great, so that more people are willing to go to, like, whether you come to AVTT, whether you go somewhere out on the East Coast for a tournament. Like I want that to be really accommodating and really easy, so it's not like a pain, because sometimes that is a bit of a pain. Right?
I will say, big props here. Going to Atlanta from the Hyatt there, like we literally could just go underground to the train station, take the train all the way to the airport and back. Never had to worry about an Uber or a Lyft or anything like that. Yeah,
it was honestly about maybe 7-minute walk once you get off the train and you got to go up the escalator. It's really not that bad. So if anyone gets a chance to go to Worlds, whether you win a golden ticket, or go to Narrative, assuming that it's still in Atlanta, because they haven't announced where it is. They're thinking of something bigger because they know it's just going to keep getting bigger. If you get a chance, and you win the golden ticket or you decide to go to Narrative, you should. I think it's a really good experience for players to have.
I think everybody in the hobby should do it at least once.
At least once. It's kind of like going to Comic-Con. You should go at least once. Say you've done it, and then if you like it again, keep going. If you don't, and you're like, I had fun, I'm glad I did it. It's something new to get to try. I think you should at least try it once.
I remember that was one of my big disappointments moving west. I finally moved out west, and I moved out west in the wintertime from back east. I moved close enough that I could actually drive to LA for Gen Con West. Mm-hmm. And the first year, like after I settled and it was there and I could go next year, they shut it down. Didn't have it. It was gone. Because I lived on the East Coast, and it's actually a bear to try to get to like Wisconsin, Indiana, that whole area is kind of a schlep. But I was like, I'm going to be in driving distance of like Gen Con 2.0. This is going to be great. No, they just took it away from me.
Dang, it was a tough time. It's a tough time. I'm sorry that you had to go through that.
That also means I'm really old.
That is different. Gen Con is one I do want to go to, just speaking of different things. But yeah, again, people should go to Worlds. People should go to Worlds. People should go to Gen Con.
I've been to Origins. I've been to Gen Con. I've never been to Dragon Con, which would be another good reason to go back.
I've also never been to Dragon Con.
I've heard that I think happens in Atlanta as well. Or it used to happen in Atlanta.
Who knows where it's happening now?
I've been to a few. Never been to any big conventions in LA though. Your traffic confuses and frightens me.
We don't have, besides like, we have like big ones, but there's not as many tabletop outside of, I want to say it's OgreCon or KublaCon is the one that has different ones in LA. That's like more
Comic-Con's
tabletop.
in San Diego, right?
Yeah, but that's less tabletop. It's more of like if you're in the movies and things like that, which is fine. But obviously, I'm more geared towards my tabletop gaming experience. I love my plastic soldiers.
I have to get all of my hobby experiences in every so often. It inspires me. Miniature stuff always bleeds over into tabletop role playing stuff.
It absolutely does.
Try out that version of it. The only thing that threw me with they did an Inquisitor game, but the miniatures they wanted to do for the Inquisitor role playing game were like in a completely different scale from the Warhammer one. So I couldn't use any of my Warhammer.
That was way back in the day, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember seeing about there was like a Marine
or something like that.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. I mean, nowadays you just go like, what's my bucket of plastic pieces that I could put together and make a character, which is also actually a lot of fun. I've done that once. I want to do it again for another thing in the fantasy settings.
Nothing quite like Worlds to inspire you to want to do all sorts of new hobby projects and dip into a game in the GW line that you haven't touched before. Like I'm almost been talked into Blood Bowl now.
Yeah, myself too. I have purchased a team. I now own the Lizardmen Blood Bowl team.
Nice.
So I'm
can the Saurons can the Seraphon throw the skinks? That's what I need in my life. I need
know.
Big characters able to throw smaller characters.
All I know is that Croxagores look like your linemen, so they're going to take somebody out.
Oh, no.
So that's what's cool to me. I don't quite know how the game works, but I love skirmish games. I love GW games because I think they generally make pretty good games.
I do love the oddball like characters and designs that they get that creep up when they have a little bit more like non-uniform branding, like a Necromunda and stuff. Yeah, I wonder if we could see another kill team that's like Inquisitorial Agents, right? I loved how you got like this raggedy band of like Penal Legionnaire and Hexorcist and all these guys, and we had a player do pretty well representing those at Worlds. But I'd love to see like another sort of weird Xenos retinue pop up at some point. I think like once every 3 years or so, we should see some sort of completely like lore-rich, crazy team that comes out of the woodwork that you don't get to see in Big Hammer.
I feel like you could do that with Tau, with all the different factions, and you could introduce different factions that are normally never represented on the tabletop. That could be fun. Obviously, of course, we have Imperium you could figure something out, like an Inquisitorial team that has like a Death Watch Marine has one of these things or something. You know, you could really go.
There are some fun alien races that only show up in the books, right? Like the like the orangutan guys, the orange orangutan Jokero.
The Jacaros, yeah.
Jacaros and the Harud, like the space rats. And then they had one in the narrative section for the old kill team, some big lizard guy.
Not the Zotes, right?
Space lizard race. Yeah, Zote.
It is Zotes, right? With that kind of like centaurs, but also lizard. Yeah. So those could be cool representations, things we don't normally get to see.
And they like to throw weird models in some of these kits now for the narrative stuff, right? Or find neat ways to plug in like one-off models in non-kill team like NPOs and stuff. I'd love to see some more features that give you the experience of being in the narrative way. Like they build narrative products, so I'm hoping we can play with that a little bit more.
I definitely think so, and I would love to see that as well because as a casual player myself, narrative is a lot of fun. Getting to have different rules for it is a lot of fun.
Yeah, and I think if you don't have a golden ticket, having some sort of event exclusive narrative experience is just like that's the bee's knees, man.
Yeah, if you get a chance to do it, you should do it. Like we said it before, we'll say it one more time. You should definitely get a chance. If you get a chance to go, you should go. If you don't, you should consider going to the narrative. It's a cool experience. Try it out once. If it's in Atlanta, get yourself some chicken and waffles.
Oh, yeah.
The thing we're going to definitely try to do next time, assuming it's still there. Marty, we've been talking for a little bit here, so it looks like we're going to be wrapping this up pretty soon. Do you have any shout outs you want to give out to any friends or family or your local game store?
I just want to shout out my bros from Team Basilicanum, including Doc and James Gines, for all, just making this hobby year special for me. And we were able to go in there and do our All Valley team tournament stuff. I know they were joining the chat and cheering us on from afar during Worlds. So that's a big plus here. I know my wife doesn't listen to any of this nerd stuff, but I want to thank her very much for holding down everything while I was gone for all those days. Being a part of the broadcast team, it means a lot to me. there. So I appreciate that. And then, other than that, we already shouted out Alex Popov, so we've done the meme.
We've done the meme.
And I want to thank everybody that came on stream, right? Like, they had to do, like, that. You're already playing at such an intense level of scrutiny at Worlds, right? You're playing for your tournament life on Saturday and Sunday. And then people like, hey, you want to have a bunch of chuckleheads in Twitch chat yell about your game and pretend that you don't know how to play? And people are like, yeah, that sounds like a great idea. And, they take on that extra burden to bring that entertainment home to us. And that's just such a big contribution. I can't say it enough. And, like, man, that final game, like, just speaking of people that show a lot of character, when Dan's Geomancer ate it, spoiler alert here, the finals game, Dan's hot dice finally bite him at one critical juncture. And I would have lost it, man. I almost lost it, and I was casting. I wasn't even playing.
Yeah.
And Dan's just, like, all Dan does is go from kind of mildly, like, putting in show tunes when he's nervous to getting quiet, right? Like, I would have eaten the dice. Like, I would have just chewed them up and swallowed them. Like, that's how mad I would have been. So shout out for all of our players coming on stream and showing us the best of what the hobby has to offer.
I love it, Marty. I'll do my spiel real quick. You can join the conversation by joining the Discord. That's the Squad Game Discord. There is a link in the description for you to join, or you could just find us by searching it. Ask us your questions. Tell us what you thought about Worlds if you went. Tell us if you'd like to do the narrative there. I think that could be cool. You should try it out if you can. If you're going to go to the Palm Spring Opens, or if you're going to go to ABTT in June, if you're thinking about that, tell us what you think. We have our categories there. You can talk to the community. They're very good about being responsive when they can. And that's what I do love about that Discord as well. You can find us on YouTube at Squad Games Entertainment. You could see battle reports. You could see some painting stuff, and we have more things on the way as well. We have our website, squadgames.net, with all sorts of products you can get, as we always talk about. You can get them there. You can purchase them, and they will be sent to you in a timely manner, hopefully. And of course, we have a Patreon, which the people who do our Patreon support us in a more personal way. We really appreciate that. Shout out to all our Patreon members, and shout out to the listeners and the viewers. You guys do a big part too. You keep us going. You keep us motivated to keep doing it. And of course, shout out to Marty. He's kicking butt, is doing what he can, taking jokes like a champion. That
kind of rhymed.
No, but I love it. Again, guys, if you made it this far, we appreciate you listening in, and we'll catch you in on the next one.
See you in the next one. Take care, everybody.
The Squad Games Podcast is a production of Squad Games Entertainment. For more information on Squad Games, please visit our website at squadgames.net or check out our YouTube channel at Squad Games Entertainment.